Good morning, everybody, and welcome to chapter 2 of our festive story this week, Mimi and the Mountain Dragon. And there's quite a lot to tell, so I think I'm going to get straight on with it today. It's interesting, isn't it, that the Sweet Chiming Bells carol that we're listening to is all about the shepherds, isn't it? When the angels appeared to the shepherds in the Christmas story. And the shepherds were really afraid because they were just shepherds, and then suddenly the whole sky filled with angels. And the angels had to be really clear and say, "Fear not, shepherds, there's nothing to be afraid of. We're here to tell you great news." And it strikes me that the people in this story, the villagers, are very afraid of the mountain dragon. So maybe Mimi is going to change their fortunes. And if you remember yesterday, she just found a baby dragon in the wood pile in her shed when she was going to get wood for the fire. Let's see what happens next. And it was humming a tune whilst it was asleep, almost like soft snoring. It was a lovely tune, a simple tune. So Mimi found herself almost at once able to hum along in perfect harmony. As she hummed, she felt so overwhelmed with tenderness for him, so sure he would not harm her, that she reached out and touched his neck with her fingertips. At this, the little dragon opened his eyes, which were as green as the rest of him, and looked up at her, not in fear, but in wonder. "I'll look after you, I promise," she whispered. That was when there came a sudden loud bellowing from across the yard. It was her father. "Where's that firewood, Mimi?" he shouted crossly. "The oven's going to go out. Do I have to come and fetch it myself?" There she is, touching the dragon. "I'm coming, Pappy," she called out. Mimi knew well enough what Pappy would do if he discovered there was a baby dragon in the woodshed. Death to the mountain dragon, death to the mountain dragon. Hadn't the whole village, Pappy included, chanted that along with everybody else just the day before? She had to hurry. But to her astonishment, when she turned around, the dragon was nowhere to be seen. Maybe she'd been imagining him after all. But a few moments later, she heard the sound of his humming from above her head. There he was, perched high on a rafter, wings outstretched in alarm, wide-eyed and breathing hard. She could tell at once how frightened he was. I think he must have heard her father shouting. Don't think he likes loud noises. "It's all right," said Mimi. "Come back down. I won't hurt you. I won't let anyone hurt you." She held out her arm. "Come on, little dragon." Mimi knew he would come when he was ready. And so he did, floating down on outstretched wings and landing on her wrist. His claws may have been long and sharp, but he didn't hurt her. As he sat there, she sang softly to him her favourite Christmas carol. "Sweet bells, sweet chiming Christmas bells, sweet bells, sweet chiming Christmas bells." And now when he hummed, it was her tune he seemed to be humming. It was his way of speaking to her, telling her he trusted her. Music was the language of dragons. "I don't think anyone knows dragons like music," Mimi said. "Does your mother sing to you like Mutty sings to me? And your mother, she's up there in her castle, isn't she? Worried sick about you. And you've gone off and got yourself lost, haven't you?" "Breakfast, Mimi," came Mutty's voice now from across the yard. "Hurry up or we'll be late for church." "And bring wood," Pappy was yelling. "Coming, Pappy, coming, Mutty," Mimi cried. "I've got to go," she told the little dragon, stroking his neck with the back of her finger. "Oh, you must be starving, poor thing. I'll fetch you some breakfast, shall I?" Do dragons eat honey cake?" "I bet they do. I'll get you some. And afterwards, I'd better get you back home before your mother comes looking. She's the mountain dragon, isn't she? And she's going to be so angry if she discovers where you are. She'll think we've stolen you away or something. She'll be furious. And if the mountain dragon gets angry, if she starts roaring and raging, well, anything could happen. Mimi settled him back on the woodpile and quickly gathered up some logs. I'll be back soon with your breakfast, she told the little dragon. And off she went with her logs, leaving him in the dark of the woodshed. As usual, there was honey cake and hot milk for breakfast. Mimi drank the milk but didn't eat the honey cake. She had plans for that. Mimi longed to tell Mutti all about the little dragon in the woodshed, but Pappy was always there in the kitchen with them, and Pappy wasn't just a farmer, he was a hunter, and a good one too. There was a bearskin on the chair to remind her, and antlers on the walls everywhere. You're very quiet this morning, Mimi, said Mutti. It's Christmas Day, you should be happy, and you haven't touched your honey cake. Are you all right, dear? I'm fine, Mutti, Mimi told her. I just don't feel like eating, that's all. Wasn't it the best yesterday, said Pappy, tucking into his honey cake. Wasn't that the best carnival ever? We showed that nasty old dragon, didn't we, Mimi? She'll hide away in her castle all year after that. No forest fires this year, no avalanches. We'll see, Mutti didn't sound so sure. Every Christmas Eve we go out drumming the mountain dragon, but every year we still have a fire, don't we? Or an avalanche, or someone goes up into the mountain and doesn't come back. If you ask me, all that drumming may make us feel better, but it doesn't seem to do much good. At that moment, the church bells began to ring. Mutti got up in a hurry and cleared away the table. Pappy was putting on his coat, so neither of them noticed Mimi squirreling away her piece of honey cake in her pocket. Then she was out of the door before they could stop her. I'll meet you in church, she cried. There's something I have to do first. Bye. Where are you going, Mimi? Mutti called after her, but she was gone. As she ran across the farmyard, she could see the villagers tramping their way to church through the snow, their breath smoky on the air. Just like my little dragon, Mimi thought. Close to the woodshed now, she began to hum. To let the little dragon know it was she who was coming, so he wouldn't be frightened. She found him waiting for her on the woodpile, exactly where she had left him, still snoring smokily and still humming. Mimi crouched down and fed him the honey cake. He finished every last crumb, licking his lips again and again, in case there was a crumb he had missed. That was when Mimi caught sight of his teeth for the very first time and was suddenly just a little afraid. They looked as sharp as icicles, and there were so many of them. But his eyes were smiling up at her, and she knew that she had nothing to be afraid of. I've worked it out, Mimi said. As soon as the bells stop ringing, we'll know that everyone is safely inside the church. On Christmas Day, everyone goes to church, even Pappy, so no one will know about it. No one will see us. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to carry you home to your mother, back up to the mountain dragon's castle. That's where you live, isn't it? All the while, as she was speaking, the little dragon had his head on one side, listening to every word. Your mother, she won't hurt me, will she? She won't blast me with her fire. Well, Mimi, that is a good question. There he is, the little dragon. He's only a baby, but he's got all of those sharp teeth. And tomorrow we'll read the very, very exciting part of the story where Mimi journeys on her quest up the mountain with the baby dragon. I wonder what's going to happen next, because nobody has ever seen the mountain dragon before. You'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out. In the meantime, have a lovely Tuesday, and I'll see you for the next part of the story tomorrow morning. Bye for now. Bye.